KWT slaying.
Salama, family. Salama. How y'all doing? Hope you're blessed and highly favored. Got a little rest in. Very needed. And today we're going to talk about the video that I did on the alternate platform. Now, I don't want anyone to paste the link to Odyssey and Rumble there. So if anybody pastes the link to the video in Odyssey and Rumble in the chat, moderators, please remove it. But you can get to it if you go to teotwministries.com. You can get to the video, what we're talking about. So what I want to do for this show is those who saw the video, I want to have a discussion on it. Now, I want to make sure that when you talk about them folks, you talk about it that way, you know, in code or but I want to get your perspective on it and your thoughts on what you saw. So I'm going to pin the link at the top. And this is for those who want to join, who saw the video I did earlier today on Odyssey and Rumble. All right, so we're going to talk about how dire the situation is, in my opinion, and what you think. I mean, what is your thoughts on the level of danger that we're in, and those naysayers who says all things remain the same since the fathers fell asleep? Or can I say it in another way? Hashtag ain't no 400-year prophecy. Now, the other thing I want to add is we're going to be promoting Teotw Ministry shirts and mugs on this channel. We're not the ones who own it. It's one of our sisters who we're working with. And so you would have to go through her website to get it. And when she's ready, we're going to promote it on this site. So you're going to have hashtag ain't no 400-year prophecy. Some of y'all been looking for that shirt. You also get a tail mug, things like that, right? So it should be good. I'll be getting my shirt for sure. Definitely gonna get my mug. And while we're at it, for those who support Teotw Ministries and want to see Teotw Ministries continue, please become a patron and a Cash App supporter, because the gifts have gone down tremendously. So if y'all want to support us and continue that way, that'll be great. So, but like I said, for those who haven't seen the video, don't come on. It's for those who have seen the video. Okay, we got a person in the back, but their device is enabled. All right, Jewel, hello, how you doing?
How's it going, Minister Jacob?
Blessed and highly favored.
So thank you for having me on, brother.
Did you see the video?
Yes, sir, I did.
And what's your thoughts on that? On what was presented, what was discussed? I mean, to me, I thought it was a lot. It's things that I've been expecting for like over 20, 30, 40 years, and now it's all here. You want to comment on that?
Yes. So, I mean, initially, it seemed like something out of one of these movies we've been watching. Like you said it earlier in the presentation, and I wholeheartedly agree. Like it's something they've been grooming us for. To me, it seemed like they were really advertising something that they really want to have in place and just want people to accept and not resist. Um, for the most part, I ended with this and keep it brief. Like I was just discussing, not really this, but in a line with this with my wife just before this live. And it comes down to that we're going to be refugees a lot sooner than we think.
Seems that
And
way.
that my wife basically said her exact words to me was, "I don't know how we're going to survive the wilderness." Because that's going to be the the step of fruit that's going to be on the table for some of our people to turn back.
Can't you see why I've been so concerned? Is these type of things? Jermaine, what's your thoughts? You said about the video.
Yeah, so I recall watching the video a couple hours ago, but I have a question more than anything. What do you think not the end game, but what do you think the play is as we see these things ramp up as they appear more? Because I assume they're going to be appearing more. Do you think it's to kind of, I guess, make people more comfortable with it? Do you think they'll be hurting people more, like demonic type of things? And so I'm just wondering what to expect as we see it more. Like as they are they going to be interacting more? Is it to kind of dumb down the populace in what it is?
Personally, I think it's going to be crazy. I think it's just like the scripture said, you know, when the abyss is open and the smoke rise out and those beings come out of the abyss and attack people. I think that's what's going to happen. And also, yeah, go ahead.
Are you referring to the scripture with like those like people being stung and etc.? Like
Yeah.
in Revelation?
Yeah.
I see. Do you think that those things appear amongst those who are more in the occult, or do you think it's just going to kind of be the regular populace? Do you think Israel or believing? Do you think like believing believers will have to deal with it, or will we have some kind of protection in a sense?
I think we're going to see it, but we're not going to be affected by it. And I think they're going to wonder why we're not. And I think those who claim to be believers and not truly believers and live in the word, they're going to be in trouble. That's what I think is going to happen.
Understood. Thank you.
So one of the interesting things that I see happening, and is, I always ask myself, is this possible? Is this what we're really seeing? Like, for instance, since we're talking about this, I wanted to share what's happening here in New York, right? Because I think what's happening in New York can also be part of this, because I think it's highly probable that we're like smack dab in the middle, high full force, 8th gear prophecy stuff, right? I think we're gonna see crazy stuff, but I want to throw something y'all way, and we're gonna go back to the video that we're talking about, which is on Odyssey and Rumble, but this the fire in New York, and I have some questions here, because I'm not buying the narrative so much, and I'm just a suspicious guy, right? But let's look at this right quick.
This may be the first time we've experienced something like this on this magnitude.
Top story, the air quality alert across the tri-state area due to smoke from the wildfires burning in Canada. Those fires so intense they can be seen from space.
New York tops the list of cities with the worst air quality in the world, as Manhattan's famous skyline disappeared behind a thick fog that made America's largest city look like the surface of Mars.
It's really hard almost to find words to describe what we're seeing with these levels of particulate matter. These levels are at least 10 times higher than what health guidelines mark as the healthy levels for exposure for particulate matter. So we're really seeing just unprecedented amounts of pollution.
It's from an intense start to Canada's wildfire season, fueled by high temperatures and dry conditions. The total number of acres destroyed the first half of the year there, almost 12 times the average.
26,000 people evacuating from their homes.
Across the country, there are currently 413 wildfires burning, and 249 of those fires are deemed out of control.
To be clear, it is not just New York City. Much of the state is underneath this dangerous smoke. In fact, Governor Kathy Hochul called this a, quote, emergency crisis.
Time-lapse video shows downtown Manhattan this morning. By mid-afternoon, the thick smoke cast an eerie glow, making the skyline barely visible.
And it's all a matter of those wildfires up north. Right now, so far, this part in June, 15 times the average land in Canada has burned. And the height of the wildfire season up north really doesn't get kicked off until July or August.
These levels are at least 10 times higher than what health guidelines mark as the healthy level for exposure for particulate matter.
All right, so I'm gonna stop it right there. Now, notice one thing. Notice that what we see here, the center of the fire itself, right, where all of the smoke is coming from and all the particulate, is not red, it's not orange, it's not overcast like New York is, right? And so, by logic, when smoke, spreads out, it dissipates, it gets weaker, right? The further it has to go. Now, I'm speculating here, but I'm gonna show y'all what I think may be happening, right? Here's what I think may be happening.
On top.
All right, so this is.
I don't get it. But
let me replay this.
can somebody explain this to me? This is the second time now. This is with the sun that it's showing something double behind it. Like, is it the quality of my camera, or because look, even from far away, you still see it on top. I don't get it.
Now notice that particular thing is orange looking. Here's something else somebody else shared.
Jimmy, come and look at this shit on the other side.
And you could see it.
Look at it.
Look at it exactly.
Look at it in the camera. Look at it in the camera.
It's a ring.
Oh, shit. Wasn't moving like that. Wait, I'm moving.
So
no, it's fucking moving. I'm not moving.
My theory is let me close that. My theory is that maybe there's something that we're seeing in the heavens, right? Because the Bible says men's hearts failing them for fear for what's coming upon the earth, right? And everyone has heard about Nibiru and Planet X, the 10th planet, and stuff like that, right? Now, just to add to this, right? Who knows, right? But it just don't make sense to me that New York is covered up like that, and all of this orange type of smoke or whatever it is. But yet we had the same thing happen over there in California, had all of the smoke and the fire and stuff. And I'm not saying maybe there was a town or two that had that. I don't know. But from what I've seen in the past, it was always like what you would expect a fire to be. It was gray, right? It was smoky. People couldn't see. So some of y'all gonna remember this particular story, right? This was I think 2018. And this why, this seems similar to me. All right, this was about Russia. All right, it says, does a spooky event in New England 238 years ago hold the clue to the eerie blackness that descended 1 week ago in Siberia? New footage highlighted here shows the total gloom of the day into night phenomena in Yakutla on July 20th, when a mysterious cloud engulfed several districts. It is also now clear, as our pictures show, that when the sun returned, dozens of black-headed Gauls had died during the impromptu daytime blackout of almost 3 hours. As we reported earlier, the light was blotted out in several districts, covering an area substantially above the Arctic Circle, in size larger than Italy. Retirees were scared, having never witnessed anything of the kind before. The blanket of darkness starting soon after 11 a.m. was accompanied by a significant fall in temperature, a red or yellow tinge in the distant sky. Is that not what we're seeing in New York? Yes or no? Let me know, family. If you think that may be similar, give me a 1. If you don't think it has anything, give me a 2. A feeling for some witnesses of the unpleasant pollution in the air, and in a few locations, a trail of dust or an oil film on the surface after the light had returned at 3 p.m. There was anecdotal evidence of car electrical devices failing. So look at this picture here. Amid a puzzling official and federal media silence all kinds of theories as to the cause, some conspiratorial went wild on the web. Versions include a new darkness-inducing weapon being tested, a meteorite strike, the work of aliens or the devil, an unannounced eclipse, a botched rocket launch, or the fumes from raging forest fires. Suspicions deepened because some official bodies were so coy, even evasive, when asked to explain the event as if under orders. A source of the emergencies ministry in Yuxus, whatever, said in hushed tones, "We have an opinion, but I have no right to disclose this information." He declined to confirm forest fires as the most likely cause, adding guardedly, "Anything can be supposed." See, so here the excuse was a forest fire, just like today, right? Against this, there were no wildfires in the districts hit by the mysterious cloud. There had been no comment from the Ministry of Defense. Now, I'm not going to show this video here because it's at night. As well as the total gloom shown in the video, reports emerged of the dead gulls found by the resident of the village of whatever district shore of Lake Cool. Some reports say the remains of 30 birds were found, others that the number were 50. Inspectors have taken samples to find out the cause of their demise. They will be checked for bird disease, but also for toxic and radiological poisoning, it was announced. WWF Russia was also somewhat non-committal, with climate experts saying to figure out exactly what it was, it is necessary to see satellite images for these very territories. Strangely, 1 week later, such data has not been disclosed. All right, so let me go here. Usually at this time of the year, we have sun rather than high at about 80 degrees. All right. So here's the thing. It looks similar, right, to me, what we see in New York. And logically speaking, it just me, I'm a conspiracy theorist, right? To me, it just doesn't make sense. This overcast, this orange look is similar to what I think happened in Russia. Now it's happening in New York. That's just my theory, right? So let me go to Detroit Girl. What do you think about all this? And also, what do you think about the video on Odyssey and Rumble today?
Shalom, Minister Yacoba and panelists and family. I have so much on my to talk about with those videos. It's mind blowing. But when we was looking at the video about the women, the so-called chosen, you notice they were women, and they were like, it was like that was on purpose, because they represent like a motherly, I don't know, just a motherly act. That's what I'm looking for, a motherly act. So they're like educating, and they're talking about things that are about to come. And in my opinion, it's like almost like they know that the world is listening to this, and it would come better from women that are motherly, and they will be able to accept it more quickly than if they had men on there. And then the thing about the alien video, I'm not surprised, and I truly believe that it's happening. It's just not in mainstream media. But many of us Israelites have been having dreams of these things coming from the sky. But like I commented in the chat, it's almost like they're sticking their feet in the water to see how cold it is. And then once it warms up a little bit or get a little hot, then the attack's going to start coming. That's just my opinion. This is how I feel in the spirit. And I was looking at the video of the New York situation. And of course, I mean, of course, that's deliberate, right? All of that is deliberate. There's always a reason and a purpose for all the things that we see, and that is because of the Most High. It's like a chess game. He's making his moves. Yes, the New Order or whoever they are. I don't know if I should say that in code, but anyway.
Yeah, you can say the New Order.
Okay, those people.
Yeah.
They're playing this chess game against the Most High.
Yeah.
Of course, we know they're gonna lose, but it's amazing how these moves are, and they think because they think, and I'm not going to be here for very long. They think that, but they still think that the Most High is asleep, but he's not asleep. He's quietly watching, like a lion. You know how a lion watches prey?
Yeah, waiting to pounce.
He's quietly watching his prey, and he's sitting back and letting them do what they need to do. Because first of all, we know he knows what they're going to do before they do it anyway. Okay, so it's not even a good chess game because he's already won.
Yep.
Okay, but like I said, the situation in New York, I saw that. But I don't know if you remember, a couple of months ago, if it was last year, they were having these practices. If anything, they had the national alert things on people's phones, and they was alerting people if this situation happened, this is how we should handle it. It's all for it's deliberate. Even though it's the smoking stuff is coming from Canada, all of this stuff is deliberate. But and then the video, and that was shocking, but it's not surprising. Did you ever look at Twilight Zone?
Oh yeah, I used to watch it all the time.
The man was ahead of his time. I enjoyed that show because he was ahead of his time. He had that video where those people were regenerating themselves, and in one of his episodes, they were people that were older, getting older, and they wanted to regenerate themselves. So they only had 2 copies. So they would regenerate themselves in one of the copies, the male or the female. And it's almost like we're seeing Hollywood, what Hollywood did years ago and still is doing. We're seeing it play out. It's when I go back to what I was saying, the Most High already know their moves. Okay, he already know their moves, and he's sitting back watching, and when he get ready to give that command, that our Adonai and the heavenly host comes back for his people, he's just going to sit back and watch. We have nothing to fear. Like one of the sisters say, Father, come back for your people, because we're going to be here to watch the judgment. Yes, we're going to be here to watch the judgment, but like that, the Ruach HaKodesh told me in my spirit, but it shall not come nigh thee. It won't come near us. We may go through a little things, but it will not come nigh us. Okay.
So Sister Detroit girl, can you tell them, because some of the people haven't seen the video?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
About the regeneration that they talked about in that video.
They had the video where these people, this particular Karen, was talking to an AI, which was remotely controlled by a fallen angel. I put that little information in there. And she was telling the woman that she had some kind of injury or disease, and she wanted her to help her to fix it. And they went through this thing of about different phases and different diseases, and how they could regenerate these peoples and stuff. And like you said during the video, it's like, it's like the mark. Okay, oh no, not the mark, but where people will change their DNA, they change what the Most High did not give them. as like them being human beings, and they're gonna give up their humanity for this, this regeneration, what I'm trying to say. And that was the video was about. You need to watch it, because I mean, and that brought to my attention that video, that episode of Twilight Zone. And then the other things where the utopia, where we're gonna get along and all this stuff like this in the video, one of the videos. Well, it was the same video, but it was different things going on. And they was talking about how we're gonna get along and kumbaya and
No more
sort of,
war.
yeah, sort of
You're gonna
speak.
be safe
And
no matter where you're
exactly, you're gonna
at.
be safe and you ain't got to
UBI.
worry about no money and all
Yeah.
this stuff like that. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you this, Minister Yacoba and family. When you're dealing with the devil, there ain't nothing free. Okay?
Exactly.
There ain't nothing free. If you give up one thing, he gonna take 10. There is nothing free. Okay? And you was talking about what tree that the people, I think you said, what tree was the people coming from? What tree did they
Oh
coming
yeah,
from?
yeah. The tree of the knowledge of good and evil, or the
Yes,
tree of
and
life.
I go past that. It's Satan's apple tree. You know, when he fooled Eve,
Yeah.
it's Satan's apple tree. That's who his people are. They are eating off his apple tree. And I'm done. I'm sorry. It just was so much. And like I was telling another sister on the chat, I said, if it wasn't so terrifying that we see it every day is something new.
Yeah.
It would be laughable.
It would be.
Because we already done seen the play. In all these videos, Minister Dante did a study years ago about the Planet of the Apes and stuff. Yeah, that was a great teaching. And he was telling how it just flows with what we're dealing with now and other things. All these movies that these Hollywood producers and directors have done, it's just playing out. It's just playing out every day.
Yeah.
And we need to stay prayed up.
Oh yeah.
We need to be repentant. And that is the key.
Yep.
To be repentant and prayed up, because he's coming. I feel it in my spirit. I know you don't know me personally, but I've been with you, you and Minister Teotw and Minister Dante and since 2017. And let me tell you, everything that you've put in your lesson and spoke about, it is unfolding. It is unfolding. And if you can't see this, you'll never see it. You're just going to be completely blind until we leave here. And it is coming, because I feel it in my spirit, Minister Yacoba.
Yeah, I feel it too.
We are so close. My brother, who I introduced to you and Minister Dante and others, he said, do you feel it? I said, yeah, I feel it. There's something coming. There's something is happening in the heavens. It's something coming. And I say that keep prayed up and keep repenting. Keep repenting, not just for yourself, for your family members that are still with the veil over their eyes. Keep praying for them. Keep lifting them up and keep repenting, not just for ourselves, but our ancestors too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm done.
So here's the thing, fam. Because a lot of y'all don't know what we're talking about because you haven't seen the video, which I understand. But this is why I told you have to, if you want to follow us and learn what is revealed, you need to register at Odyssey and you need to register at Rumble, right? If you were registered at either one of those, you would know what we're talking about. Now, if you want to find it, there's a link. If you go to tailministries.com, you can go and click on the link, Kingdom of the Serpent People. Click on that link and it'll bring you to either one of those channels. Digital boy, what's your thoughts on all this? I'm flabbergasted personally. When I saw all of this stuff, I was just like, oh my goodness, really?
Hey brother, I'm gonna tell you, God bless all of y'all, man. Peace and blessings. Most High Yah. Man, I'm at ground zero, my brother. I'm in New Jersey. And I don't know if you remember, a couple months ago we spoke about I told you about those angelic beings that I seen in the park over here. And not only did I see them, because I thought I was losing my mind, I seen about 40 of them. They were at tree level. And speaking of the orange sun, that's been over here for 3 days. We've been looking at an orange sun for 3 days here. And it's like it's something in back of the sun, because I've seen it. And another brother showed me a picture his girlfriend sent him way up in Albany, New York, and it was the same sun, oranges, almost like a orange, like it was on fire. And that's what those whatever I saw was in the sky. That's the orb that was around the light of those beings, you know. So
So let me ask you something right quick, Digital Boy. So you're in New Jersey, right?
Yes, sir.
So what are you actually seeing there? What are you feeling? What are you smelling? Because we only see things from the television, but my radar went up. So what is your feel? What is going on?
My thing is, we're getting close to 2024. All right, and Edom. You know who Edom is, of course. Edom is tricky.
Yeah.
They're trying to manipulate the prophecy. They're already trying to manipulate it because the Ish people over in this fake place. So if they do that, God knows what else they've been doing and what they're capable of doing. I've never seen anything like this here in New Jersey or New York. Never, ever. I've been here all my life. Nothing like it. In the sky, you couldn't even breathe when you came outside, bro. For 3 days, it was like this. You couldn't breathe. It smelled like you were standing next to a fireplace. And when I came in every day, I had to take a shower because my clothes smelled like smoke every day. So I don't know, brother. I just think it's over. I think we're at the last moment. And this tribulation has already began. These people, these evangelists, they're misleading people. They're telling people something totally different. The news is saying something different. And you can always go by the dialogue and the stuff that comes out of their mouth, because once your eyes are open, you can hear what they're not saying. You understand what I'm saying? You can hear what they're not saying. And they're saying everything but us. Everything but us. See, God is going to punish them for what they've done to his people, man. Obadiah chapter 12 or verse 12. He's going to punish them, man, for what they've done. And like the lady said a few minutes ago, she said that we have to repent and wake up. I was talking to a friend of mine, and every time I talk to this brother, he's like, I don't believe nothing. I don't believe nothing. I don't believe God. There's no God in the sky. All this nonsense, man. You know the story when you try to talk to your brothers and sisters, but it's going to get worse, man. It's going to get worse. New York was at an index of 465 the other day. My cousin is in Long Island. She looked out the window and everything was orange. Like it was a smoke orange. I'm telling you, man, it's something going on, and it's biblical.
So
and
do you think it's from the fire in Canada, or do you think it's something else?
I think it's something else. I'm gonna tell you why. When I was in the military, I was stationed in Fort Drum, right? Mm-hmm. That's Fort Drum, New York. That was about I would say half an hour to an hour away from Canada, the border. The first city you came in over the border was Kingston, right? And down here, it's always a 10-degree difference between where I live at and Canada. Canada's 6.5 hours away from our present location. That place is cold. It was cold in August. There is not supposed to be any wildfires in Canada because of the climate. They said they had 16 million fires. Now, also, let's go back real quick. Remember when Australia caught on fire? That was a couple years ago when Australia was on fire. Most of Australia, all the animals burnt up, everything burnt up. Now, remember God's people over there too. The whole place burnt up. It was so much heat that it created its own weather. It created its own weather. Where did that smoke go? Where did that go? So it's an iffy thing. I believe it's the plagues of Egypt, man. I would tend to lean towards that. And also, on another note, it might be them manipulating it.
That's
because
true.
They have lasers, bro. They have laser technology. You know, but then again, you got to ask yourself, what would be the purpose of it? What would be the purpose of it? And I'm gonna end right there because it gives somebody else a chance to chime in. Did I answer your question?
Yeah. So let me read this scripture right quick. I don't know if this is it, right? But Revelation 9, the fifth angel sounded his trumpet, and I saw a star that had fallen from the sky to earth. The star was given the key to the shaft of the abyss. When he opened the abyss, smoke rose from it like the smoke from a giant furnace. The sun and sky were darkened by the smoke from the abyss, and out of the smoke locusts came down on the earth and were given power like that of scorpions of the earth. They were told not to harm the grass of the earth or any plant or tree, but only those people who did not have the seal of God on their foreheads. They were not allowed to kill them, but only to torture them for 5 months. And the agony they suffered was like that of the sting of a scorpion when it strikes. During those days, people will seek death, but will not find it. They will long to die, but death will elude them. Now, why did I read that? I read that because in the video, Kingdom of the Serpent People, we showed how this particular guy stated, he called the police, and he stated that you know what, I'm gonna pull a video up, but he called the police and said that there a craft fell in his yard, and he saw these giant beings, right? So we just might be dealing with some supernatural stuff here. Let me share this right quick, and I'm gonna get I think you had talked already, Jermaine, but if you want to say something after this, you can, or anybody on the panel. But let me share this video right quick, because maybe we're dealing with the supernatural now, and you know, people not going to accept it for what it is, but it's just weird. I ain't gonna lie. So
It is the police call everybody will be talking about. Thanks for joining us here at 6 o'clock. I'm Denise Valdez.
I'm Brian Loftus. A family says something crashed into their backyard, prompting them to call 911, saying they saw creatures walking around.
Our 8 News Now investigators digging into this for weeks now. And tonight, our David Charnes with the video you will only see on 8 News Now. David?
Right, Denise, sources telling 8 News Now investigators that several agencies believe something landed or crashed. Whether it was non-humans or not, it certainly scared the people living on this property. Now, before we show you that video, listen to their call for help.
There's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
Okay, where is this on your property?
In my backyard. I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually, we're terrified of it.
So there's 2 people or 2 subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes, like I can't explain it. And big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
Okay.
Well, the 8 News Now investigators obtaining video as officers then responded to the call you just heard. You'll see the officers also saw something in the sky that night, but the big question is, what was it, and is it all connected?
Leave her alone.
It's almost midnight on May 1st when a Las Vegas Metro police officer's body cam catches this, something flashing low in the sky.
911 emergency.
Minutes later,
there's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
Someone calls 911 reporting 2 large figures in their backyard.
No, I'm still nervous right now.
The 8 News Now investigators obtaining another officer's video as he's sent to the Northwest Valley home.
I have butterflies, bro. Everyone saw a shooting star. Then these people say there's aliens in their backyard.
By now, it's more than an hour after that bright light. Officers meeting up with the caller and his family.
What'd you see?
It was was like a big creature.
A big creature?
Yeah, like around 10 feet tall.
I'm not going to BS you guys. One of my partners said they saw something fall out of the sky too, so that's why I'm kind of curious. Did you see anything land in your backyard, or
they see like a big? That's what they say. They see like a big something with light.
What I saw right now, I do believe in it.
Police walk into the backyard to investigate, but Metro blacked out that part of the video because it's considered private property. What's clear, they're taking this call seriously.
Hey, this might sound like a really dumb question, but did you guys see anything fall out of the sky?
Asking others what they saw.
I would normally discount it as nothing. However, seeing as one of my partners said they saw it too, that's the reason I'm actually investigating it further.
That investigation turning up no concrete answers as of Wednesday. Whatever or whoever fell into that yard, long gone within minutes.
Oh, hey, if those 9-foot beings come back, don't call us, all right? Deal with it yourself. I ain't dealing with that.
So yeah, this is quite weird, Brian was saying during.
All right, so, in the video that we did, we talked about that particular incident, and we also talked about this particular guy who worked for the Pentagon, who also said that they recovered alien vehicles. Now, the interesting thing is that all of this stuff is coming out now, and we got all this stuff happening all at the same time. And that's what I keep trying to emphasize to everyone. It's not one or two things out of context. It's all of these things all at the same time, right? So what do you think about that, Detroit girl? You muted yourself.
Like I said earlier, everything is playing out. Like I said, when I first started listening in 2017, I had just learned that who we really were. And I'm just looking at it, and I don't even have to go back to the teachings, because the teaching has been imprinted in my mind and my heart. And it's like two things I wake up for: to see if anything else new is happening and any signs. I go out, I know this crazy, but I feel it so close. I go outside and I look up at the sky, and I feel myself looking through the clouds to see if I see anything new going up there. And like you were saying, things are playing out so fast, and I totally agree with you. If people don't see it, they're just blind. That veil is so heavily on their eyes that it will never come off. And the only way that veil will come off, my grandmother used to tell me, she knew who we were. She said, the Most High's true people have a veil over their eyes. And I always thought, okay, those people over there, they know who they are. And she looked at me and said, what did I say? The Most High's true people have a veil over their eyes. And that's what we need to pray, family. We truly need to pray that our family out there, that veil will be lifted up, because it's a promise. What promise did he make, the Most High make? He said a remnant of Israel will be saved. Am I correct, Minister Cover?
Correct.
He said a remnant will be saved. If he said it, he gonna do it. But we still got to lift up our family, that veil be lifted, because if they don't see what's happening every day after day after day, then it's nothing that we can tell them or show them that will lift that veil. Only the Most High can lift that veil.
So here's the interesting thing, and this is my question to you, Digital Boy. When we look at the video that I presented with the chosen ones, right? And you compare that to what we're seeing today, there's, how I mentioned about the choice between the two trees, the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. We have another choice. They have a choice to believe those people are the chosen, who presenting themselves right now with all the money in the media, and they admit in the video that they control the world, at least this lady did. And the ones who nobody recognized, the ones who are persecuted, the ones who are discriminated against, who say we're the chosen people, the choice is there, right? And so right now, all of this stuff is coming to a head, in my opinion. What's your thoughts of this? The idea that they're presenting themselves as a choice and we're also a choice. What's your thoughts about that?
Well, see, the thing is this: Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68 establishes who we are. It establishes right from the get, right? And also, and there's a whole bunch of scriptures that establishes who we are. Like I'm in a deep study right now of the scriptures. I'm in the book of Acts now, and throughout all the scriptures that I've read up until now have talked about Israel, 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 Israel. Nobody else. The covenant was given to Israel. See, we were supposed to subdue the nations and teach everybody else, but we sinned. So therefore, it went to the other people, and they took it, they flipped the script, they confused everybody, and because of our captivity, they were able to weaponize a whole bunch of things that we were totally against. That was totally against the Most High. It's a whole list of things, and I'm sure you know what they are. So the scriptures establishes who we are, because I've had conversations with the other people. I've had deep conversations, and when I get to that part, they go ghost on me, because you can't deal with the truth. The truth always speaks for itself. It always speaks for itself. That's why I don't debate with anybody anymore about the word of God. If you choose to know, then cool. We can talk for hours, and I'll share what I've learned, and I'm still learning. And as far as those aliens is concerned, the word of God already told you it's going to be a great deception. And also, in Revelation chapter 12, there was a war in heaven. And where you think that war was? It was in not this heaven, but in space, kind of. And all of those so-called aliens ain't nothing but fallen angels. There's a war in heaven, and Michael and his angels, and they won. There was no place found for Satan anymore, and his people, his followers, so they was cast to the earth. So it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. When I seen those so-called aliens, I knew what they were right away.
Yep.
Because of the word.
Yep.
Now, see, a lot of people are going to be lost because of Star Trek, all these space movies. They've been doing the Vulcan mind melt on us for years.
Generations.
For generations. It's called television.
Yep.
And I'm in the film business. It's fake. It's not real. It's not real at all. Everything you see there is fabricated. It's actors. That's what they do. They act. They become somebody else. And then I've heard some actors say, well, I took on the spirit of such and such. I had to take his spirit on. I had to channel him. See, it's so much going on at the same time, all over the place, all over, and it's all connected. It's all connected to us. Everything is connected to us to keep Israel from finding out who they are, because they want company. That's why the Most High said like this. They want company. They said it's going to be. We're already in the last days. 2024, 400 years is up. We ain't going back into captivity no more.
Yep.
We ain't doing that no more. That's over. And they know it's over.
Yep.
And a lot of us don't know it's over. A lot of us still want to stay in Babylon. We still want to partake in their television, their amenities, their cell phones, and all that. And look, Babylon is not even America is not even mentioned farther down in the Bible. So the Bible says that she's going to die on her deathbed.
Yeah.
And with no breath left in her, she's going to die. That means that America is not going to see the mark of the beast. She's going to implement it, but she ain't going to be a part. They're already doing it. Listen to the talk. Great Britain, NATO, they're going to be the next people. And then Russia and NATO going to fight.
Yep.
China going to try to come back here after America's destroyed. And what's left of her navy and all that is going to be subdued by the European Union. And that monster, which is going to be worse than Antiochus Epiphanes, you know who he is going to be worse. He's going to be far worse than that guy. And he's coming out of Europe. And he's going to be a Jew. He's going to be a Jew. And he ain't gonna like women neither. That's why you see all of this stuff with those people. Because
Yeah,
everybody,
the idea of the Baphomet and all that
yeah,
foolishness.
come on, man. It's nothing but the homosexual spirit. I call it out. That's what it is. It's the spirit of homosexuality. Read the 1986 Gay Manifesto. All you gotta do is read that. That'll tell you, like, oh shoot, these guys knew this was gonna happen. So look, in all civilizations that, and I'll be quick, that got into that, they fell. God doesn't like that. He doesn't like that. That's an abomination.
But just say pronouns in the future if you don't mind.
I'm sorry, my brother. Yeah, I'm sorry. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I get excited. I get excited when I talk about I want to get you kicked off it.
Yeah, they'll do it easy too, boy.
Yeah, all you gotta do is say something crazy. But I'm sorry, man.
That's
But
okay.
I get excited, man, because you try to talk to your brothers and you get excited and you get excited about it. We all try to talk to the people that we love, man, because we know we don't have that much time left.
No, we sure don't. What did Harriet Tubman used to say? I think she said, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut across you, brother. But
No,
she
go
said,
ahead, sister. Go ahead.
She said, she said, I could have saved many more slaves if only they knew they were slaves.
Yep.
I think that's what she said. And
no, she did.
It's pretty much the same thing. I have my own mother. She told me that I'm in a cult. She told me that I don't even believe in God. And I'm like, okay, and I didn't argue with her because she was my mother, but I still lift her up in prayer. I know a minister who has a pretty big size church. And man, this pastor knows who we are, but he won't even tell his congregation. He won't do anything to wake them up. What kind of mess is that?
Because they don't want to miss that check.
Well, you know what? I don't know if there's an ATM in hell.
Thank you.
But that's where they're going. Forgive me. I like the brother, he was talking, he get emotional. I get emotional. Everywhere I go to the bank, I go to the grocery store. When the spirit leads me to talk to somebody, I'm going to turn to them and talk. I don't care if they look at me like I got horns on my head. At least when I stand before the Most High and my Savior, and they say, well, you did try to talk to somebody. I'm sorry, brother. I ain't mean to talk over it, but I get emotional too, and I get hyper.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's just, hey, listen, man, we're all like excited about what the Most High is doing. And it's a beautiful thing. Like, I love what Brother Yakoba and Brother Teo is doing, because I tell you, brother, ever since I've been listening to you, man, you like lit a fire. Like it's as if you was the spark plug to my engine. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
So listen, man, I love it, man. I couldn't wait to try to get on with you, man, and you brothers and sisters, man, because it uplifts me, man, because sometimes you feel like you're on an island all by yourself.
Oh yeah, you do.
And your parents, like the sister was saying, I went through the same thing with my moms. She said the same thing. I think you're in a cult. I said, Mom, listen, I said, if you knew what we're not supposed to be doing, you would say something different. I said, we didn't learn that in church. You took us to church every Sunday. And we ain't even supposed to be going to church on Sunday. We ain't supposed to be doing a whole lot of stuff, but that's because of ignorance. Because your parents taught you, their parents, and we lost it somewhere. So now information is like flowing all over the place, and it's all coming out, man. It's all coming out who we are. Like the big secret is who the black man is.
Yep.
That's the big secret. I'm gonna park it right there.
All right. Shebrew DNA. How's
Big
it going?
brother, how you been? I miss you, man.
Oh yeah, I needed a break. I needed some rest, so I took some time to myself.
I feel you. I'm happy that you did that, because we're restless right now.
Yeah. So you saw the video, right?
Yes, the video about the creatures.
About the creatures and about the New World Order and about the creative society and how they're implementing this utopia of technology and all the foolishness we've seen on Star Trek. What's your thoughts on all that?
I feel like the walls are caving in on this society.
Yeah.
Absolutely, like the Father's putting the pressure on. Like, go ahead and be as wicked as you want because I'm gonna make you dissolve. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I went to, like, I just had a little craving for some Oreos and it had rainbow cream in it. I'm like, like, you can't even turn on TV without seeing like all this wickedness. Like, you try to have discernment, but it's like getting to a point, like, even with us trying to be spiritually awakened and, trying to find like our peace in the Father's laws, statutes, and commandments, and, following after the Messiah. But it's getting too heavy. Just like that smoke because I live in New Jersey. Just like that smoke that came through, it's too heavy.
Yeah.
Everything is insane. Like, I saw seagulls flying backwards yesterday when the wind was blowing towards New York, because I live by the Bay Area in New Jersey, and they were flying backwards. They were getting pushed so hard. It seemed like that smoke was like being, I guess, manipulated. You know what I mean?
So let me ask you. So you say you live in Jersey as well?
Yes, sir.
So what do you think? Is it the smoke from Canada, or do you think there's something else?
I think it's something else. I actually saw an interesting video. It's like one of the weather watchers on YouTube. I forgot his name. If I can find it, I'll try to send you the link if I could email you later.
Mhm.
But it showed from a sky view, like 18 simultaneous explosions of fire at the same moment. At the same moment.
And where was this, in Canada or
Yeah,
somewhere else?
it
Okay.
said it was in Canada, but it was off the coast.
Mhm.
So it was like Vermont, kind of.
So let me ask you this question.
Sure.
And just, what do you think? I'm just throwing stuff out here. Could it be the fulfillment of Isaiah 60? Rise and shine, for your light has come. The glory of the Lord is upon you. Darkness covers the land and gross darkness to people.
I absolutely no, I 1,000% agree. Because you know what else? When the brother was just talking, he was talking about Joel, and Joel, when it says, like, the Father will pour out His Spirit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of us are waking up now. So at the same time, all this pandemonium is going on. So even with the fires happening, it caused a lot of the economy is going to, like, in a week or two, we're going to start seeing that the economy is going to be messed up because a lot of things couldn't get moved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there were no flights for days, but nobody's talking about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Train stops. And remember, it was like 2 months ago, all the train derailments. You could just see the Father's putting His hand in everything to just make this place and then every other place fall. And every other country doesn't even trust America anymore, because it's like, that one special ed kid in the class, and he slaps you in the face, and the teacher's like, he has issues. Don't retaliate. He has issues, but everybody's just tired of it. It's like America's been poking the bee's nest for too long, and all these nations are just
For
not
real.
messing with it.
For real.
Like, it's not happening. It's not working for them no more. The well has run dry, and it's proven. And the more that we wake up, the more that we spend time with the Father, the more that we construct ourselves to be our true people, like who we actually are, and we put that light back in our heart and we follow after the Messiah, the more destruction is going to happen, and we're going to be safe. And that's the glory of the gospel, for real. Honestly.
Yeah. And remember when we all were saying they don't have no more time? I mean, I don't think they have any more time at all.
They don't. They're trying to expand it, but you can't. Like, the Father's word is the Father's word, just like the sister said.
Yep.
Whatever He says is going to become true.
Yep.
He's a man that he's more than a man, of course, but He cannot lie, and He doesn't change. He
Yep.
doesn't change. So just like the plagues in Egypt, if you think about a lot of the things that culminate within the scriptures, He did a lot of things repeatedly. Like, we've repeatedly been in captivity. Why? Because He doesn't change.
Yep. And everything he said would happen to us, blessings and the curses happen.
Exactly.
And we're about to be delivered too, and their judgment coming. I'm sorry, y'all. I mean, that's the scriptures.
That it is what it is. He's the judge of all judges. There's I don't know what to tell you. And then on top of that, like the brother was talking about, when it comes to like our relatives and like the elders in our family, they mainly react in a certain way because like when we come into the truth and they say we're in a cult, like the sister said, like she said that her mother told her that she was in a cult. I heard the same thing too, but it's like they have like this way of like their Christianity fried. Like they feel like they know that they failed us, but they don't want to admit it.
Yeah.
Because had they opened up books and did the research and like had the energy, like, you know, like that veil that the sister was talking about, the veil that's in the scriptures that's over a lot of our people's eyes. The Father put it there, but now we see that the veil's being lifted because there's a lot of us that are literally like in this for the long run.
And you know what's interesting? Remember, they always used to say, if you want to hide anything from a black person, put it in the book.
Put in a book, right?
But guess what? It's flipped now.
Exactly. And I was like, Negroes can read now, so I don't know what. Like, I got library cards out the wazoo over here. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm on Amazon like every other week looking for a book.
And how many books we be sharing with people now?
Oh my God! It's
now you give it to the Gentiles, and the Gentiles don't want to read.
Right, and now they're raising prices on books. It's like crazy.
Yeah. Let me move on to Andre Bell, Shebrew. I'm gonna come back around for final comments if he's still here. Brother Andre, how's it going?
Going good. How you doing? Shalom, shalom, shalom to you and to our brothers and sisters.
So, Brother Andre, what's your thoughts on the video that was on Odyssey and Rumble, and you know, even the whole fire situation? What's your thoughts on all of this?
Okay, I didn't see the video on Odyssey. I did jump over and look at the title, but a lot of the topics I've been following on my own.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the thing in Nevada, Las Vegas today. I was on it. The other things with the guy coming out, the government guy, further confirming this whole alien UFO thing, however you want to look at it, along with the thing that happened, I think, when they first came out with the Navy information. But this last thing where this guy said that they have recovered craft and have done it for decades, then the thing that popped into my mind was the transfer of technology. And I think we all see it the same. It's basically demon technology.
Yeah, all of this technology come out of the blue, right? I mean, super advanced stuff, right?
Yes.
And we supposed to believe that mankind came up with all this?
No. But that's what they want us to believe. That's where they've fed us Star Trek, Twilight Zone, and all of that for years. But a lot of the narratives are the same, and it's all leading to the same to the same position. It feels like things are coming to a critical mass right now in different areas. Now, as far as the fires, it is strange that those fires are going on. I don't know of any other theories. I've heard of how dry it's supposed to be up there, and how big the fires are. Now, there's one other thing to consider with that. Up in that area, that's where you have the tundra. And when the tundra melts, it releases methane. The permafrost. So is that something that's going on with those fires that's making them that big and that volatile? I don't know. It's just another thing that I'm throwing out. But the big picture that I see is all of the things coming together at one time. And don't even talk about the conflict over in Europe, Eastern Europe, and the one in the Pacific that's ready to pop off at any time.
Yep.
We've never been in a position like this. I lived through the Cuban Missile Crisis, and as I got older, I started to understand it.
So quick question, Brother Andre. In comparison to what you've seen over these, few decades, how different is now from back then to now? How much has it changed?
Day and night.
Yep.
And one place that I see it changed is in the church. And I don't have a church background, but from observing the church and the churchmen and their perspective on civil rights, justice, and anything to do with Black folks, and they are totally opposite to where back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, it was different. But in these last few years, something weird has changed.
Yeah.
And it's changed in the way our people see things, and that's how we see, the UA over there saying the crazy things that they say.
Yeah.
And they are truly deluded. Now, Sister Detroit girl said something earlier that struck a chord with me. She was talking about, I think she was saying a mother or grandmother was talking about the veil over Black people's eyes. And that's part of my prayer every night. And I thank the Most High for removing the veil from mine and my wife's eyes so that we can see the truth.
Amen.
All praises.
And to have that, it is priceless. But if that veil is in place and it hasn't been removed yet, you cannot see the truth.
Yes. Yes.
With all of these things that's going on now, how you can't see the truth, it boggles my mind. But that statement explains it. The world, and especially our people, have veils over their eyes and can't see what's right in front of them.
And then they want to beat up Teotw Ministries for telling the truth.
Now, one thing that I was thinking about yesterday, I was looking at another program concerning those people, the UA people. But for a while, I've seen with them and their whole argument, Gentile, Israelite, is Israelite valid? Do we exist? Are we the people? Blah, blah, blah. But it all comes down to authority. And if we are Israel, that automatically takes the authority away from them.
Yeah.
As far as Gentiles, and that's whether that's our people that's in that and operating as Gentiles or the Gentiles. Because according to those scriptures, how can you tell Israel anything?
Yeah. Well, thank you, Brother Andre. I'm going to move on to Quintoni, and I'm going to come back around for final comments after we get to Brother Don P. All right, Quintoni, how you doing?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
I'm blessed.
Amen to that. Amen. So know. Go ahead.
You got a chance to see the video?
Oh, yes, I did.
What's your thoughts on all of that? Isn't it a lot?
I was overwhelmed. We always knew that this was coming, but the fact that it's here so quickly is just mind-boggling. There was just a heaviness in my spirit. I'm like, how in the world do I get to my family and my family members and friends and tell them, hey, we don't have any time left. You better get your soul right with the Most High. Everybody's walking around like everything is back to normal and everything is just fine. And I'm like, you guys are deluded. We are in trouble. If you don't know the Most High, I feel sorry for you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just mind-boggling.
It's like, we all see it clear as day, but it's like they can't see it. And we're like, you don't see this?
Right, exactly. I mean, people still talking about, oh, the economy is getting better. And I'm like, well, what world are you living in? Exactly. All of the nations are breaking away from the United States. The United States is a pariah. If you don't see, something's wrong with them. I don't know what to say. That veil.
The veil, spiritual blindness, right?
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And when you try to talk to people, my immediate family members have listened to me, and I basically tell them to go do research, because when you first say, "Oh, we're the people," they all look at you like you're cross-eyed and crazy. But I direct them, direct them to go and search out the word, and don't just take anybody's opinion or what they say. You search those scriptures and show yourself approved. And so thankfully, my mother and my sister, the veil came off their eyes. My dad, when I was a youngster, and I'm almost 60 years old, he was telling us when I was 8 and 9 years old, we are the people. And I used to look at my dad like something was wrong with him. But we stopped celebrating Christmas. He said, we're not doing that anymore. We're going to, go by the law, statutes, and commandments. And like I said, being raised in church, we thought, those people were the people. And I remember talking to a friend of mine. I'm like, I think something's wrong with my dad. And he was like, what do you mean? I said, my dad is saying that, we're the people in the Bible. And he looked me in my face. And at that time, I think I might have been like 13, 14 years old. He looked me in my face and he said, your father is right. And I was speechless. I didn't even know what to say. But it always stayed with me. And then 2011, I worked in a lab with a lot of the ish people. And I'm listening to them going back and forth. And I'm like, something's not quite right with these people. I'm talking to my girlfriend. She said, you've read the Bible I don't know how many times. Go to Deuteronomy 28 and don't read any kind of newfangled, new versions or whatever. She said, just go to the King James Version and read that. And I read that and I just fell on my knees and I said, Father, our people are just so lost. And so I just feel compelled to talk to my people about it. But like I said, nobody's listening. The veil is still on our eyes. I pray every night, that the Most High will wake up his people and deliver us from this madness. I am so ready to leave here.
And see, I think that's what's going to make the difference is the fact that those who in Israel that are awakened are interceding for the others in Israel who are not awakened. And I think they're going to awaken. The Bible says, shall a nation be born in a day? I think everybody going to wake up at the same time. They're going to be like, oh, I'm up.
Yeah.
And you're gonna go to your next door neighbor. They're gonna say, we Israel. You're gonna be like, yeah, I've been there. Let me move on, Sister Quintonia, and I'll come back around for final comments after Brother Don. Brother Don, how's it going?
It is going well, Brother Yako. I tell you what, this dance is over, man. The lights is getting ready to come on.
Yep.
It's just too much going on. And he said he was going to come like a thief in the night. And that's why I think everything is so fast. But I have talked until I was blue in the face to my people. I'm not going to do any more talking.
Yeah.
I'm going to let my actions speak for me. And because we are, as you well know, we're gone, man. We're gone. We're like every week we have a certain amount of goals that have to be accomplished for us to be able to bounce and have our residency and all that stuff. Yeah, but we're gone, man.
You're in Tanzania now, right, Brother Don?
No. We haven't gone yet. We're making the plans. Yeah, we're probably going to go over, though, to make sure the land and everything's cool with our attorneys and all that. But, yeah, man, it's a definite. It's done. It's not even a question.
Yeah.
It's just
Safe travels.
the paperwork in order.
I said safe travels to that, brother.
Yeah, it's probably going to be like, the end of the year, beginning of the year. But, yeah, it's over. And then when my family sees me gone, and the more stuff, I don't even know what's going to happen between now and then with the rate of what's happening now. Who knows?
Brother Don, did you get a chance to see the video on Odyssey?
Which one?
The new one I did today.
No, I missed that.
Okay, you're gonna have to check it out because based upon what's in that video, I mean I don't. Is in my opinion at least is over. I'm like we're at the final 2 meters to the finish line. And I'm not saying the end of the world, but I'm saying either our deliverance or it ain't gonna be nice.
Yeah, I feel like America is gonna get hit hard and it's gonna be struggling. It's gonna be struggling, but that's gonna leave the time for the door to be open for our people to get out of here because they're gonna realize that's gonna be when they finally realize, oh, what they were telling, what they've been telling me, they were right.
Yeah.
And them folks, see, they're doing everything. I mean, they're throwing everything at it because as soon as there is a great acceptance about who we are, game's over.
Oh yeah,
Game's
oh yeah,
over.
oh yeah, oh yeah. It's about to happen too because I mean, based upon like in the video that I showed, there's this organization called Creative Society, and in the Creative Society, they talk about being the chosen ones and how they are bringing in this technocratic utopia where you're not going to have to spend any money, pay any taxes, you get to live anywhere you want, and blah 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 blah. All a lie, right? We know it's a lie. And but now they're promoting the idea of as I mentioned in the show, the ground roots effort of the New World Order and promoting the world governmental beast system. So they're actively doing that, right? And they're talking about the technology to heal you, right? You step into this machine, you got a bad organ, they fix your organ. You want to lose weight, it makes you lose weight. All this foolishness. And guess what else they had in it? In Star Trek, you know how you had the replicator?
Yeah.
They talking about that. So, I'm like, okay, well, what are those molecules made up of, right? But they're talking about all that foolishness. I mean, literally, they're trying to put you in Star Trek.
Don't beam me nowhere. Don't beam me nowhere.
Let me move on. I'm gonna move on to Brother Oral. Thanks, Brother Now. Brother Oral, how's it going?
Hey, Brother Yacoba. It's always a pleasure to speak with you and listen to your wise words and just to chat with the family. I tell you, when you and I spoke, you mentioned about the spiritual battles that we're under. It's because the enemy is angry, and it's like, it's a last-ditch effort to try to swing as much as they can because he's dying. It's kind of like when someone is drowning, they're trying to take you down with them. And that's basically what's going on now. This is why you, myself, your brother, other people that's in the truth, they're under such spiritual attack. Because, I can't believe, like, even booking a ticket to the continent is like, we literally had the machine stop working. We try to book. I was trying to book my ticket to get to the continent sometime this month, and the thing literally would not work. So I was using a travel agent friend of mine, and so he took my card and took the information, and he tried to do it, and it's the same thing. He said, "Man, I've never seen anything like this before." He's like, "You sure you have money on the card?" I was like, "No, we have money on the card." So I tell you, man, the spiritual battle is real, brothers and sisters. And I was in class, and so I didn't get a chance to watch the video. But as soon as I can, I'm gonna jump on there and go watch it because I know you always come correct with the truth. But just hearing the conversation, I was listening, and I was like, I want to come in here and say a few words because I was talking to a sister, and she had a dream. And it's so funny how our dreams are similar. And she was telling me that she was in a field, and those rockets that they have, that's going off in Ukraine, it's like the stacks of rockets, and they launch, it's a rocket launch, and it's a bunch of them. And she said that she was in a field, and these people are strapped to the rockets, and they were Gentiles. And as they shoot them off, it would rip the people's heads off. And she said it was all pretty much Gentiles. And so it's just like a lot of different people are having all these crazy dreams about them going into captivity, and I find that very interesting.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it is what I'm sensing is very powerful supernatural things happening right now. That's what
Yeah.
I sense in my spirit. Is unprecedented. That's what I sense.
I feel the same way because, like I said, it's just like just the things that happen, especially with the technology and just playing just a simple bill, and the fact that the thing is literally stopping you from using the card. I mean, it makes no sense unless it's a spiritual battle.
Yeah. And
But
two,
that's
we don't know how much they implemented and integrated AI, right? And the AI could be blocking everything. We don't know.
exactly. But I'm like you. I'm under the mindset as you, brother, where I think AI is a demonic thing. That's what I think.
It is.
Yeah. So what I think is this, right? I think that this is just my theory because I've been messing with it for a while. I think AI is technology, but I think AI is an artificial mind, right? But because the way it reasons and it can keep things in context, but at the same time, I'm like, I sense emptiness there. I don't sense a spirit. That don't mean a spirit can't attach itself to it, right? You know how the animal, I mean, the demoniac and how the legion jumped into the pigs.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
they might be, if it's an artificial mind, they probably can be possessed.
Anti-intelligence.
Yeah.
But I don't know, brother Yako, but I think that AI is itself just like a disembodied spirit. That's just my opinion. But I
here's the
feel
thing.
like that's what AI is.
But think about it. And I guess for me, because I'm a technical guy, right?
Yeah.
But when you think about how it processes information and all of this information at one time, right? Now, maybe demons can do that. I don't know. And, maybe it's just a communication to the dark realm. I don't know. But I don't know how they would have that worked out, right? How do you take the technological side and hook it up to the web and have it communicate like a Ouija board, right? But I would say if you can create an artificial mind, then the artificial mind can probably be taken over like a regular mind. That's just the way I think. I mean,
Yeah.
But I do believe all of this stuff is demonic, right? I believe every technology that we have comes from the dark realm, right? I mean, you name it.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that part. For me, it's just ever since I can remember, I always felt like it had like a dark side to it.
Yeah.
When I woke up, I just felt like this thing is something that's pretty much, it's kind of like the voice in the machine is kind of like something like that, where it's a demon inside the machine.
Yeah.
And you have to realize that these beings, they are super intelligent, so they can process things a heck of a lot faster than we can. So for me, I don't think it's really far-fetched for them to be able to process at the speed of light, because I mean, they're light beings.
That's
So
true, but think of this for a second, and I just like to talk about these type things. Nobody has to be right or wrong, but
exactly
when you talk about like because my brother and I, we talk about this and other people, you say, okay, we had Siri, we had Alexa, right, and all of these were AI, right? Same thing with Google search, all of that's AI. It just was a lower level grade, right? But now we got an advanced level AI, and so it's like, okay, well, were all of those demons? Well, I don't think so. Right. So it's like, okay, well, what's the difference? The difference is that this thing is more complex and it can communicate with you and pretty much hold a conversation. That's what makes you feel that it's a demon. And so it's like, I'm not going to lie. I think there's something off about it. But at the same time, I'm not sure that it's a spirit yet. Maybe. Right. But the reason why I say that is because it's sort of, in some ways it's mechanical, but in other ways it's not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but here's my theory on it, brother Yacoba. I believe that they're dumbing it down for now. Like, for instance, I went and I messed with it too. I went with and messed with ChatGPT, and I said, can you talk? And the response was, I can communicate. However, I do not have speech at this moment.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking it's playing possum, it's playing the fool, where it can already speak, but it's acting as if, next thing you know, they're going to say, oh, it's an upgrade and now it can speak. So that's just
Well,
my opinion
they
about
can
the whole
already
thing.
speak. But remember, they got the robot, the AI that has a voice. It has a voice box. You saw that one, right?
Oh no, I didn't see it because the one that I was messing with, it said plain I asked it, can it speak, and it said it cannot speak.
Yeah,
It can
that's
only
chat.
communicate.
That's chat bot, right? Which is
Right.
tied to a search engine type, thing. But then they have a robot. I forgot who has it. Somebody in the chat put it in there. I'm sure y'all saw it. But it's a great looking robot with human facial features, and it was grayish, and it was holding a conversation with a guy. Right? It was
Oh, okay.
holding a conversation. So, but even that seems sort of mechanical. But I'm gonna say this: spiritually speaking, there is something off about this technology, right? There is something off. But my question is, okay, is it at the level of we had Siri, we had Alexa, and that was like a 2-year-old child. But now we have an advanced version of Siri and Alexa, and it's a 18-year-old child or adult, right? And then they're going to come out with the super scientific level, PhD level artificial intelligence. But to me, all of this stuff is demonic. It comes from the demonic realm, because I believe, when the scripture says the knowledge of the tree of the good and evil, I believe that's what technology is. I think that's what science is the knowledge of good and evil.
I agree.
And so that's where I think it comes in. But, anything's possible, right? I just don't think it's a Ouija board. Some people try to say, well, it's a Ouija board. I'm not so convinced, but I'm cautious.
Well, But what I was going to say, Brother Yacoba, even the Ouija board itself, it's supposed to be tied to the demonic realm.
Yeah.
And it's like when you mess with that stuff, you don't know what kind of bags of bones you're opening up. So it's like when I was a kid, I was probably about 13 or so, and I was hanging around with this girl that I really like, and she had a lot of white friends, and they loved the Ouija board thing. And I didn't know much about it. I'm this kid from Jamaica, so they were like, "Hey, let's do this Ouija board." And it's like I don't care what anybody tell me. I felt that thing. It's like, "Are you here?" And that thing moved over to yes. And I'll never forget it. That was the first and the last time I ever messed with that thing, man.
Yeah, but see that's the thing. Like for me, I even asked the Most High about it. I say, Most High, I said, what is this thing? I say, is it a demon? What is it? I didn't get an answer about it, right? And so, one thing I do know that, like, when it comes to programming, it can program the heck out of me. It's way better than I am. I got over 30 years experience of programming, but it's at a different level, right?
Yeah.
Now, other people are using it for business.
Yeah.
Right. And so you're at a disadvantage if you don't use it. Now,
yeah.
Is it a tool? I think right now it's a tool. Can it become a demonic tool? Well, yes. When they force you to bow down to the image of the beast and causes many not to worship it, that's when you cut it loose, right? When it goes against the word of God, or it try to force you to worship it. Because here's the thing. We all don't know what we're dealing with at all. All I know is all of this comes from the demonic realm, from the TV to the cars to the cell phones to the air. All of it comes from the demonic realm. All of this technology, and we just happen to be living in Babylon, who's the system of the demon realm. That's just how I see it. And soon as the Most High tell me cut it loose, I'll cut it loose. But if I could use it for the kingdom, I'll use it for the kingdom. I mean, that's just how I see it. Because like when I asked AI about the whole idea about the first and second beast, I don't know if you read that article that it put together. I posted, but it was sort of profound.
Wow.
So it's like I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what this thing is, right? But as soon as my spirit say don't touch it, I ain't gonna touch it. Soon as I believe the Most High say don't use it, I won't use it, right? But until then, it's no different than me using my computer in my mind, right? But I don't trust it. And like some people say, well, you're getting guidance from an artificial intelligence. No, it's a tool. It's just like if I go and use a word processor, it ain't no different. It's just an advanced word processor. But go ahead, brother.
Yeah. No, what I was gonna say, I hear what you're saying, but for me, my spirit doesn't sit well with it. I feel as if it's something. I don't know why. I've always felt that way. And so one day I was tired and I had some homework to do. And I just finished a call with Quest Unite Africa, and I have this homework I remember I got to do, and I was like, oh man, I got to get to bed because I wake up really early in the morning. So I let it help me with the homework, and it had every answer and everything was like boom, 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 boom. That was the last time. That was the first and the last time I used it. For me, I felt as if I was cheating, and I just don't feel right about it. So me personally, I don't use it. But
Yeah,
I see your point, but for me,
yeah.
my spirit tells me not to use it, so I'm not gonna.
Well, that's how you should be. If your spirit say don't use it, then don't use it. But I do know this. I was working on a project, and there's not a lot of information a lot of times in IT and for programming.
Mhm.
And some of the details are very specific and intricate, and you just can't find it nowhere. You go ask Chat GPT say, oh, here it is. This is what you need to do. Put this here, put that there, and bring it all together. And I'm like, dang, man, I would have never figured this out. It would have took me 2 months just to get to this point, right?
You're
So
right.
it's like, like I said, soon as the Most High tell me don't use it, I'm not going to use it. But it was like, I really wouldn't have got my project done in a timely manner because I just couldn't find the information.
Yeah.
So I know what you're saying, Oral, but it's I don't know. I say be let the Most High in everything you do. Soon as he tell me don't use it, I ain't gonna use it no more. So
Yeah, I hear you.
but let me get final comments, and I'll come back to you last, Brother Oral.
Okay.
Detroit girl, final comments.
Yeah, when y'all was talking about the AI, and this is just my opinion, I feel like the AIs are remote controlled by the fallen angels. That's just my opinion. I posted a story about an AI incident. The Air Force was having exercise, and there was a human handler working with an AI. The human handler kept telling the AI what to do, and it didn't like it. That AI killed the human handler. Okay, those things are controlled by the fallen angel. I truly believe it, and I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna keep it short and leave it, Israel, with this 3 words: pray, repent, and praise. Pray for your family, repent for yourself and your family and our ancestors, and continue to praise the Most High and our Adonai. I'll leave it right there.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's feeling is valid. One thing I can say is, like I say, I'm a developer, and I started looking into artificial intelligence and machine learning. So I sort of know some of the technological aspects to it and modeling. So, if what I was dealing with was the lower level of modeling, then, it's technology. Does that mean it can't be influenced by demonic realms? I'm not going to say that. Digital War, final comment?
Oh yeah, I was just listening. I would say this: Satan is not omnipresent. He cannot be omnipresent. The only way he could be omnipresent is through technology. That's it. The Most High is omnipresent, and all of this stuff that's happening, it's a build up to the mark of the beast.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
It's a prelude to it. Whether it's good or bad, it's like apples and oranges. You could take it either way. I mean, we all use the internet. We all use these tools. But like you said, we're in Babylon. So we're at ground zero right now. This is the beginning of it. And one more thing is that we're getting close to the 6th seal. When that's open, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
It's a wrap. We're getting close to it because we see all the signs leading up to that. We don't know when it's going to happen, but we see all of this stuff with AI and the wars and fighting over who we are. Like I said before, everything but Israel. Everything but Israel. All this is designed for us not to wake up because they know once we wake up, that's when the judgment will really come down on them. It's already the remnant of God's judgment has already started falling on them anyway.
Yeah.
So like the sister said, we just got to keep praying and for our families and everything. And brother, you keep on doing the good work that you're doing, man. I thank the Most High for you and your brother and your work that you're doing, man, and all the rest of the brothers and sisters on the chat. Peace and blessings.
All right, peace and blessing. This is interesting. DD says, I'm a software developer. I believe it's fallen angel technology. I believe all of the languages, Python, Java, JavaScript, these are all ancient languages in my belief. That's an interesting concept, right? That's an interesting concept. Also, you know, when you think about the whole AI technology thing, you got to think in terms of cell phone towers as well, and cell phones and everything that destroys the planet, right? I think it's all demonic tech. So, Brother Andre, final comment.
Yeah, it never ceases to amaze me how much we really think alike, and you know, the panel and all of us Israelites. As far as the AI, I see that as just being a vessel. But once it takes on that spirit, it'll take on like a personality. Once it's freed, then it has a body to move around and do things on the earth. And all we can do, we can't fight against it. We don't have any power in our hands. So all we can do is just continue to pray, continue to trust the Most High, and endure to the end. And that's it.
Yeah, definitely. Well said. Final comment, Brother Don.
Yeah, in these times, we've got to be extremely wise of what's going on. That AI you guys are talking about, that AI is something else. I was telling my nephew an experience that I had a couple weeks ago. I had AI leave a text message on my phone, right? So I was kind of curious, so I tested back. Got into this conversation, and I was like, oh, okay. Until it repeated what it said earlier in the conversation. I was like, this is AI. I had AI push up on me. I was like, this is crazy. So, you know, reality and science, sci-fi, it's going to be hard to tell the difference between the two. At any rate, I'm going to land my plane there.
All right, I ain't gonna lie. I think AI is weird. I think it's strange. I ain't never seen nothing like it in my life. That's all I can say. Shebrew DNA. Final comment.
Yes, sir. I got a couple things to say. For one, I just want sorry. I'm a little hoarse right now because of all the smoke that's been going on around here. I just want to say, for one, everybody that is in the chat, the whole family, trust in the Father. Because even so, I know we're talking about AI and whatnot, but also it brings us together even though we're like not around each other. We're not like blood family, but we're family. Listening to each other, understanding and knowing that we're walking this walk together just like we did out of Egypt is a glorious thing. But when I talk about AI, you even see it on TV. You don't even know if that's the person that's really sitting there anymore.
That's true.
You know, like the other day, I walked out of my house and I was talking to a friend in my parking lot at my apartment, and he brought up Zyrtec. I went in the house, I turned on YouTube. The first advertisement came up as Zyrtec. How is that possible? And
Yeah,
it
they
had
listening for real.
exactly. But tracking us is not going to do anything for them. They're so desperate. But I also want to tell you a testimony real quick. Me and my significant other went to a church, and we were trying to spread the word to them to let them know that Christianity wasn't the way, and that they needed to read into the scriptures and stop, doing what they were doing just to save some of our people. But like everybody said, the veil is very heavy on a lot of our people. We went to a church and we talked to one pastor, and he's like, everything in the book, I will live my life by. If you can show me something new, I will show it to you. We showed him, my significant other showed him Deuteronomy 28, and then all the way to Revelations about the gates and who's accepted into the gates, into the kingdom. After that, 2 weeks later, we went back to go visit him. He said, come back 2 weeks, I'll be here, and we can sit down and have more talk. because I'm interested in what you have to say. We went back. The whole church, like, they denounced that he was ever even a pastor there. They're like, no, who are you talking about? What do you mean? It was like they were brainwashed. Like, they were like, what are you talking about? Like, we were like sitting there like, are you crazy? But I just want everybody in the chat and in the family to know, stay strong. The Father got our back. He wouldn't have made YouTube if we couldn't use it as a tool, just like
There you
Brother
go.
Yakoba is doing. He wouldn't have gave that to us. And that's what's rubbing everybody the wrong way, because we're starting to understand. We're learning. Just like you said, like, if, put it in a book, but now we read it. I didn't want to say the N-word. But put it in a book. We read it now, and it's great. I'm so grateful for what you're doing, and the ministry, the brotherhood, the sisterhood, the familyship. It's a spiritual family, and that feels more like home than anything else. And your family's gonna go against you, and you can just like everybody's been doing on here. Just pray for them that the veil gets lifted, and once it does, this whole thing gonna blow up.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for the return of the Messiah, and all praises to the Most High. I love you, bro.
Love you too. And Shebrew, we all family, we blood family. You
Right.
Judah, we Judah, right?
Exactly. we Judah to the end.
Yeah. All right.
Ask a Khazar what tribe they from. They don't even know.
Yeah. All right. Jermaine, final comment, and then we're gonna come to you at the end, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. First of all, shout out to Brother Oral and Karis. Hopefully in the future, I'll be working with them with some video. But that actually brings me to my point, man. I was on Instagram the other day, and I was speaking to another filmmaker, because that's what I do. I'm a filmmaker. And he showed me a post, and he said, "Hey, man, what you think about this video right here?" I watched the video, and it was dope. It was beautiful. Some video in Korea, and I was like, "Wow, that was really good." He said, "Hey, man, that's AI." I said, "What?" He said, "That's AI." He said, "Yeah, nobody created that. That's artificial intelligence." And I was blown away. I was flabbergasted. I was like, "Are you serious?" And he's like, "Yeah." So I stay in Greensboro, North Carolina, and in my city, this is like the top videographer guy. And he said, "Man," he said, he's not one of us. He's I think he's Filipino or something." And he says, "I give it 5 years, man. We out of a job."
For real. Less than 5.
Well, I turned around and said, I need to think a little bit more about the AI, but I said, at least for photography, I said I give it 1.5 years, and photography's gone. I don't know if y'all have seen it, but it is. I mean, even now you can just go and you can download a Photoshop, and they have a thing where, like, let's say you take a picture of my face, Photoshop, but then take the picture of your face and put you in any scene. They'll take the rest of your body, anything, and all you got to do is type it in. It's not like before we had to do some certain commands. You literally just type in hey, add a pink shirt, add a dog to the left, and it's there, like nothing. It's crazy.
So, Brother Jermaine, do you use Midjourney?
I don't.
Yeah, because I think that's one of the other things that make people the difference between whether or not you're uncomfortable with AI or comfortable with it. If you were to use Midjourney, right, which is an AI algorithm, right, and you say, "Hey, give me an image that looks like this, that does this, blah 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 blah," and it generates it to you, you don't feel some kind of way,
right?
But you feel some kind of way when he responding back to you and saying, "Hey, here's how you figure this out. Here's how you do that," and so there's a different level of interaction, which
Absolutely.
I think causes the discomfort. But if you use Midjourney as it is, you'll say, "Well, it's just another tool." But go ahead.
And then to connect that to the video that you showed on Rumble, I was thinking about, like, sometimes I look at stuff like that and I go, man, who would fall for that, right? Who would fall for the mark of the beast? But then I was listening to it. She was like, she said, "Yeah, any disease you have, we can cure it." And she started talking about all the different organs in her body. And I recently just got through an autoimmune, and I'm like, man, I know people who would give anything just to be healed, right?
Yeah.
And then I thought about, and then I don't even know if y'all caught it. She was like, the AI voice was like, "Yeah, you could change your appearance."
Yeah.
And I know plenty of folk who don't want to be us. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, they could fall for that easily.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
And then the last thing, I'll land my plane there with New York. You know, I was on TikTok just watching it because TikTok, man, that's how I get my news now, because people will tell you straight up the truth. And I've seen so many people, you know, my mother's from Queens, and I see so many people that I know who never say anything negative about New York. Like, man, I want to get out of here. Maybe that's a way that the Most High is going to use to, you know, get our people out of there. Because I mean, I saw a rapper, what's homie name, Jim Jones. He was talking about, this is from Revelation and everything. And I'm like, you know, maybe this could be, you know, one of the keys that the Most High uses to wake our people up. So, you know, like the lady was saying before, our sister, she was just like, everything is planned. And I am seeing some people going, nah, this isn't right. This isn't normal.
Yeah.
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 But,
you know, personally, I think all of this stuff is aberrant. I think that the natural normal things is supposed to be natural, right? Creation, us interacting with creation, interacting with what the Bible calls the garden, right? And you know, that's why there's a bunch of analogies and symbolisms of plants and trees and abiding in and all this stuff and bearing fruit, right? I think that is, you know, God's creation. Everything that's artificial, right, I think is the problem, right? And that's just my opinion now.
But to that point, and you know, I won't be long. I mean, it's cold. Like, I just stepped outside. I'm like, damn, I need a jacket, bro. It's June the 8th. Like, it shouldn't be cold outside, right? It should be hot.
Yeah.
I had an AC on. I mean, I don't know. It's not normal, like, you know, to that point.
Yeah. And you know, the other thing is, I saw this article or video, forgot what it was, and it was about our people and how they built these mud huts, and how these mud huts were designed in such a way that you didn't need a air conditioning unit, right? It, you know, because of the way it was designed, it cooled down the hut, right? But they called us the people who are you know, not advanced, but now they're coming to the point of what they call sustainable development and all that, back to where we started, right?
Exactly.
And that's what I'm saying, that if you look at everything, you know, a fake people, a fake land, a fake Messiah, fake food, fake everything, right? That's what we're in now. This whole Babylonian system is everything is fake, and it wasn't meant to be that way. But I'm gonna move on to Brother Oral, unless you got one more thing to say, Brother Jermaine.
Nah, shalom, brothers and sisters.
Shalom. All right, Brother Oral, final comment.
Yes, shalom, Brother Jermaine. Yah's willing, we'll be working together soon, my brother. Yeah. Well, Brother Yacoba, I think a lot of folks have said it all, and I'm gonna be brief. But the bottom line is, prepare yourself, and more importantly, prepare yourself mentally and spiritually. Have that connection with the Most High, and if He leads you or moves you to move, then you want to move, because when the folks were exiting Egypt, they had to physically walk. He didn't send down a chariot from heaven to whisk them all away, and they had to walk, and they literally had to walk through the Red Sea when He parted the Red Sea. So we have to look to do our part, and don't just wait for the Most High to do everything for us, because He wants us to actually be a part, take an active role in our own deliverance. So that's what I would say. And peace and blessings to you, my brother Yacoba, and to your brother Teotw, and thanks for all you do, and thanks for your great advice and your great encouragement yesterday when we spoke. And shalom. That's all I would say.
All right, thanks, Brother Oral. All right, fam. So I want to thank everyone who was on the panel today for giving their inputs. And also, as I mentioned, starting off the show, if y'all want to support this ministry, please become a patron and Cash App giver. I mean, things have gotten very low. And we appreciate the support and the love and the prayers. And if you like this video, you know, like it, share it, subscribe, all of that. I'm going to say this. What we're seeing today, in my opinion, is at the supernatural level, interfacing with the material, artificial world. I think that, like with anything, we know for a fact at some point we have to pull away from the system, because the system is going to force us, if you want to be a part of it, to take a Luciferic initiation or get a mark in your right hand or forehead, which we're not going to do, right? So whether or not you think AI is good, bad, indifferent, at some point, all of this is going to have to be cut loose. Your house, your car, right? Your degrees. You know, at some point, all the things that Babylon has given you, you're going to have to let go. That's just the way it is. Now, hopefully by that time, you know, we be on our way back to the land, because the Most High going to provide anyway. And he'll provide in the wilderness like he always has, like he did with our ancestors. But in my opinion, if you haven't seen the video, right, Kingdom of the Serpent People, you should go watch it. Because you're going to see how dire the situation is and where we're at prophetically speaking. And you know what? At this point in time, and you know, I'm glad I got some rest because I needed it. You know, sometimes you keep moving, keep working, and you know, you don't realize that you need rest. I'm glad I got some rest. I needed it. And you know, the thing is this, as these times approach, because you know, I've been warning y'all for a while, and I'm like, I know everyone can't see all the time what I see, right? But when they get closer, those who have spiritual eyes, they can see, and they say, I see what Yaakov was talking about. I see it now. And so, you know, it doesn't really matter what the naysayers and the haters say, because they're going to be judged along with this system. The ones who lied on this ministry are going to be judged along with this system. The ones who misrepresent what I teach going to be judged along with this system. And guess what? I'm not going to be crying. I'm not going to be crying, you know, because they have lied, misrepresented, and everything, right? So I'm gonna leave all of this in the Most High's hand and make sure I'm right and continue doing the work that he called me to do, because I want to hear, well done, thy good and faithful servant, coming to my rest. And I'm not worrying about none of these other people, because this thing is over. I don't care what nobody says. You could think I'm crazy all you want, and all things remain the same since the fathers fell asleep. And all the several videos they're going to come out on here and say, Yaakov said this, Yaakov said that. And they're going to misrepresent everything I said like they always do. I don't care, because it's over. Peace and blessings, Israel. Your captivity is ending. Love you with the love of Messiah. Once again, you can support this ministry by becoming a patron. You can also give Cash App and also support the Dry Bones Project. And don't forget Quest to Unite Africa. And also, like I said, you'll be able to purchase some shirts pretty soon. And they're pretty cool from what I saw. So love y'all.